It's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchy's Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchy's is the place. Torchy's location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchy's has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchy's has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.
And everybody, welcome to the February 20th edition, Thursday, with the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk. I'm Jason Pattison, and thank you to everybody of the teams there, Rogers and Fayetteville Torchy's locations, and which happen to be the only locations here in the great state of Arkansas. Always click on the like and subscribe button on the Hogville YouTube channel, where you can watch all of our past shows from Otis, Dudley, Kevin, and Marshall. Special thank you to Carbless Cocktails. You can try any of their 9 different flavors Carbless has to offer. They are 0 sugar, 0 carbs, and 0 carbs and 100 calories. They offer 8 different vodka flavors and 1 tequila flavor as well. You can get them at any of your major retailers or here at Torchy's Tacos. Be sure to stop by either of the 2 Torchy's locations, like I said, in Rogers or Fayetteville, which happen to be the only 2 stops here in the great state of Arkansas. They may be expanding here in the near future. We'll just have to see. You try their queso and also their house-made queso each day, and also the taco of the month, which actually, Otis, is a bowl, which is the bonfire bowl that's either with blackened salmon or jerk chicken. They also have a couple of other bowls that they're also just rolled out here recently. So make sure to stop by Torchy's and try any of those great products. So, Otis, how's it going, man?
Going good, man.
Cool.
Good.
Yeah, I was going to say the NFL Combine is going to be coming up here in a week or so, maybe 2 weeks tops. And
I had the dates in the story. I don't remember what they were, but yeah, it's coming up here soon. Coming up soon. And then obviously after that, at some point there'll be a pro day at the University of Arkansas.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see how many of those kids get drafted. We know Landon will. Mm-hmm. Beyond that, I mean, there'll be some more drafted, but I mean, I think Andrew will get drafted, Armstrong.
I see him as maybe like a 6th or a 7th round steal for somebody that.
Yeah, I think he'll get a steal. All 5 of those going to the combine obviously will get a chance to play pro football, some as a late draft choice or undrafted free agent. And I think there'll probably be another player or 2. I still think I said last week or week before that I think Kiwi Rose will get an invite with somebody simply because defensive lineman, big defensive lineman who can move, teams like them, and they'll take a flyer. And you know, every once in a while you hit on one of those kids. So I always looking for more linemen, especially defensive linemen. But I think Kiwi will get a look. Eric Gregory, I'd like to see him get drafted. He's only one of the kids that stayed here through all his time and it didn't come through the portal. Not that it matters. I mean, portal or not, but I like when a high school kid sticks with it and staying with it, and he did. And hopefully he gets rewarded for that, Jason. I'd like to see Eric get drafted. And there again, he's a lineman who could play and play. Think about him. He's pretty versatile. He can play end tackle or any of those positions. And he can play all 4 of those. In fact, I guess he has at Arkansas at one point or the other. I don't see him as like a true nose guard because of his height, but he he's a defensive tackle, defensive end, and I think he'll probably get drafted. I would tend to think Eric might get drafted. Simply, like I said, teams are always looking for defensive linemen, man. They're just looking for them.
They are,
and they're hard to find. And Eric, I'd like to see him, like I said, because he came as a high school kid out of Memphis and stuck with it, and so I'd like to see him get a chance playing. Well, I mean, get drafted. He'll get a chance, but I'd like to see him get drafted.
I never thought I would say this, but if you go to your interviews with either one of these 32 teams that you have to go to, you happen to go to, and you walk in there, the first thing I would put on my cover sheet of who I am, what I did at Arkansas, the first thing I would put on there is did not leave in the transfer portal, because there are not very many kids now that can even say that. So I feel like that could be something of worth to him, that he's not one of those guys that's going to go chase bucks. I mean, there's guys when you get to the league, that's pretty much what you do anyway, because you have a small amount of your window is small amount of time. But at the same time, if you're willing to give your all to some of these teams, like for instance, you got the Steelers, the Chiefs, Minnesota, for instance, teams that value great players that are willing to go through the system and stick with it.
Yeah,
guys will still make money, and I think that's where Eric Gregory could probably make it work.
I really hope so. I really do. I hope all 5 of them, and I hope TV and some of the other kids get a chance or get stake. Isaac, we talked about that. I'd like to see him go to the Detroit Lions.
That'd be fun.
Andrew, if he doesn't get drafted, Andrew Armstrong, I'll be surprised, because that kid can play. He's shown that. He's a player in high school. I saw him play in high school, and he can't play Power 5 football, but boy, he just worked at Texas A&M Commerce, got better, and really exceeded everything that I ever expected for him. But he proved that not only could play Power 5, he could dominate. It's a very good receiver. I like him a lot. I think I'd be shocked. Well, I won't be shocked. I'd be very surprised if he doesn't get drafted. I'm not a draft expert. I'm an expert in anything, but I'm sure not an expert in drafting, but in the NFL. But I'd be surprised if some team doesn't draft him, simply because he dominated in the SEC, and a lot of the guys he dominated will be people he lines up against in the NFL. And he's shown he can play with any of them.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think. I know that we haven't seen Arkansas football since December 29th, but and really we haven't other than the one hire. We haven't really heard anything. We talked about this last week too, where it's been eerily silent from the football offices, and there really hasn't been any information come out. But spring practice is right around the corner.
Yeah, I wrote a story about that this one. I wrote a story this week, and I included that, and I put in there. I mean, Arkansas is not Georgia. Arkansas is not Alabama. I think Sam's making a mistake. I mean, this is a chance to create some excitement.
Yeah.
And it's like ghosting everybody. And you just, he hasn't had a press conference for the new coach. Just, I don't know, man. I just think he's making a huge mistake. He's trying to be like Kirby, and Arkansas is not Georgia. And, and he might not like me he probably didn't like my column. I really don't care, but I stand by it. I think he's making a huge mistake. I mean, I'm looking at it from his standpoint. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, it's 1 or 2 less stories I have to write if he doesn't. But I think for him, he could create some excitement for his program if he would get, have a few press conferences and discuss things with people and let them know. I mean, it's almost like no news is bad news, and it's hard to create excitement when you're ignoring the media and the press, and you're just not promoting your program, man. He's missing a good chance to promote it here.
There isn't. I'm gonna look at the other side of the coin on this for just a second too, because I think that this is something that might get lost in the shuffle, because when you've got some downtime like some of these players have with off season lifting and working on speed and strength in between on the football field itself, and you're not creating some positive. I get it, interviews are good, but people want content to see what's going on with that football team. I mean, we don't care if it's running routes, if it's tail and throwing to God knows whoever. You got defensive line that just lost a huge chunk to the draft.
Mm-hmm.
Those sorts of things need to be exploited in a way so that way that you, like you said, you're creating that positive buzz. Because, and I'm not saying this could happen, but these are college kids, and if there's some kid out there that makes a dumb mistake on a Friday or Saturday night, and you got a lot of positive, content out there, I'm not saying it could get buried, but the athletic department can really, as far as a optic lens look, they could take that hit. But now, since there's nothing going on, and if something like that, God forbid, does happen, now there is a huge spotlight, and there's also a magnifying glass on Sam and that program. And at this point, there's a lot more naysayers out there that are a lot more vocal that you're going to hear than some guys that are out there doing the rah-rah cheer for them.
Yeah, I think people would be excited. There's 40-something kids, probably close to it, came in at midterm, counting the portal in high school. I think people would be interested to see how they're adapting. Maybe send 2 or 3 of them up to the microphone and have a press conference and let some of the kids talk about what's it been like. Been here, a month or so, and what's it like? What are you doing? What's going on? What are you doing over there? I know it's off-season conditioning and stuff, but have them talk about it. Have Michael, have some of those kids, just have some of them kids talk about it. There's some Mike Washington's a very good talker, and very good personality, and running back from New Mexico State, I guess it was. But might be a good one. The kid from Stanford, the receiver from Stanford, is a very good talker. These kids, some of these kids, like the receiver from that come from Missouri State, he has a clothing line, shoe line. People don't know that, but it'd be interesting to know it, and have him talk about it. He goes shoe line,
Get him out there and let him promote his own brand and stuff.
Just not every kid has that, and just stuff like that. And I mentioned that in the story, but not everybody reads the story. But I'd like to have more on it. I just think there's some opportunities, and Sam's missing the boat. And look, it's not really happening around the SEC. A lot of coaches are not having press conferences, and I fully get that. But Arkansas is a different situation. They were 7-6. Sam's kind of, he's on the hot seat to a degree, a big degree, or some degree, whatever you want to say about that. But just Arkansas is different than the rest of these. Like I said, Arkansas is not Georgia. They're not Alabama. They're not LSU. Get up there. Get this team out there. There's plenty of exciting things to talk about, and I think it would serve Sam very well to do that. But they don't care what I think, and I get it, and that's fine. But I'm like I said, it's less stories I have to write. So if that's the way they feel, that's fine. But I just think they're missing a chance to really promote the program here with some stuff that could be pretty exciting.
I also want to welcome Otis's Bulldog to the show. He was up in camera just a minute ago. I hope he's doing well. He's right behind you now, but there for a minute, he had that perch and he was looking at you. He was ready to give his 2 cents on what was going on the hill too.
He got so upset the other night. He's fighting 2 pit bulls on TV, and he got so sick he threw up. He worked himself up to the point that he threw up. So, he's something else. Yeah, he fought 2 pit bulls on TV, and I told him you need to calm down. It wasn't long ago. He was throwing up, and he threw it twice. And he was mad. And he loves to fight TV animals. So he's something else. He's my buddy though. His sister died. Well, that really hit me hard because they're only like nearly 4 years old. And yet his sister, they told me she died. And so out of the same litter. And it really hit me hard because I liked her. She was a good dog. And, the people that sold me him still owned her. They took her to the vet and she had pneumonia. And then she died that night, that day on the way home from the vet.
Goodness.
Jacob thought she was sleeping, and she actually was dead in the car seat next to him. He thought she was sleeping on the way home. He got home, and she was dead. Yeah, she died on the way home from the vet.
Goodness. Well, if you guys have any thoughts, comments, questions, concerns, good, bad, or ugly, throw those up there. We'll go over those with you all too as well. Here live at home because we got snowed in pretty much here in Northwest Arkansas.
Yeah, pretty slick out here. The interstate's good, but the side roads are still terrible. I went to Missouri today, and the interstate was fine, but the only thing is throwing that stuff on my windshield, the big trucks and stuff was, and my windshield washer deal's frozen up. The wipers were working, but the fluid wouldn't come out. It's frozen. Yeah. So my windshield's so dirty, I couldn't hardly see by the time I got back home.
I was going to say, because with that glare, because it was really sunny today, and on top of all that mess, I had that same thing happen a few weeks ago when I went down to Alma to see my parents. And I had the same exact thing. And it was so damn cold that none of the gas stations had any windshield fluid to wash it off. So, I mean, I was kind of...
I didn't stop because I figured if it did, it'd be a mess. I mean, but yeah, I've got to figure out something tomorrow and get that cleaned up before I go in work, because it's bad. And I've got to go out tomorrow. I've got to run to the bank and stuff, and and stuff like that.
Looks like the sorry, Otis.
I got to get the money in the bank because I bought a Luka 8x10 autograph today, and so I got to get the money in the bank to pay. Well, it's paid for, but I mean, put the money in there to replace it.
Oh yeah. Really quick update. It looks like almost the end of the third quarter, and Arkansas Lady Razorbacks are at South Carolina tonight. They are down 68-38. Almost at the end of the third quarter. Looks like the narrative of 30-point losses for Arkansas in league play continues, unfortunately, for Mike Neighbors.
South Carolina is really loaded. I don't keep up with girls basketball, but them and Texas have been good for a while. Tennessee, UConn, those schools have been, but South Carolina, is it Don Staley, the coach there?
Yes.
Yeah, they've been good for a while, man. And, so, yeah, I mean, that's not surprising for Hogs. They don't have any NIL money. They don't have any money. And it's, I know people want Mike fired, but if you don't have any money to get players, it's not going to matter who the coach is. So, I mean, I'm not saying it's not some Mike's fault. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying if you fire him and hire another coach and you give him no money for NIL, it ain't going to be any different. Might win a game or two here or a game or two there, but I mean, you got a sports program, and they haven't. So we'll see what happens there.
Congratulations also to the Lady Razorback softball team today. They moved to 12-0 with 2 5-inning run rule wins of 10-0. First one over Rutgers this morning, and then a little later on earlier this afternoon, they beat Cal State Fullerton 10-0. I texted Dudley Otis earlier that Arkansas hasn't played a 7-inning softball game since February 8th. That's the first series of the season. That's just how dominant these ladies have been.
Yeah. I'm going to tell you what, I'm not going to step on Dudley's toes. I know he's going to hear at 10:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
But I'm impressed with that baseball team. I cover it for the newspapers, 12 newspapers I have. And let me tell you something. I'm impressed with that baseball team. Maybe I'm too impressed considering how early it is. But when you got a starting staff, and you don't have the Friday night, Landon starting that was Friday night starter for Ohio State last year, and he's not starting this weekend. That's pretty deep staff. And I'm impressed with that, with what Dave's got this year. If they avoid injuries and the hitting comes around, which I think it will, but if there's an issue, it'd be the hitting. It's not the pitching. I mean, as long as they don't get anybody hurt, that pitching's going to be solid, starting and relief, bullpen and all. The hitting, there's been some guys that, and like I said, I leave it alone. Dudley will talk about that tomorrow, and he's kept up with a lot more than I have. But Souza needs to hit, and and Rocco Pepe needs to hit. So we'll see. But boy, they've really this is a good baseball team. I'll be shocked if they don't really do well this year. I'm impressed with them. I really am.
Here's a big tease for you, for everybody, for tomorrow morning, 10:30. The Arkansas Diamond Report with myself and Dudley. Arkansas faces Kansas State, which knocked Arkansas out of the winners bracket in the regional last year. So that's going to be a huge matchup against Kansas State. First game in Arlington, 7 p.m. All softball and baseball games can be seen on Flow Sports College. So if you're willing to dip into the budget and get that for the month, you can catch all the softball and Arkansas baseball action that you want.
Kansas State's struggling some this year. They're not as good as they were last year. they've really struggled out of the gate. I think they won one game. They had it the other day when I wrote my story. I think they were 1-3, 1-4, but they're dangerous. I mean, hey, when you get to this point, but they're going to go against. They'll be going against Arkansas, ace and stuff. So we'll see how that works out for them. But I really look for Arkansas to do well down there. I think TCU and Michigan will give them a lot more battle though than Kansas State will.
The pitcher that you were talking about, Otis, and I love this kid's last name. Everybody, give you a little bit of a quick update on the pronunciation. It's Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice. And so one of the things that Dudley loves to do is just call him Beetlejuice. So
yeah, I call him Landon. But no, he's. I mean, hey, look, he did nothing to not deserve to start. I mean, all four of them pitched equally well. They went with Gage Wood, but he could have gone with Landon. There was no knock on Landon. I mean, hell, he pitched as good as anybody did, and he just, but trouble is not something he did. You got 4 starters for 3 games. So, you can't start 2 pitchers 1 game. So, I mean, Dave went with Gage, and I thought he should have since Gage is a returning player, But, he's in good shape. And they got some other guys on that team, like Colin Fisher and some of those guys that can start if they need them. So, on down the road. And so, and injuries happen, but you've got 2 closers in Wiggins and Fouch. So it's just a loaded team, Jason. Dudley will have to deal with this team because I personally think they're really good. I don't know how he feels. I didn't talk to Dudley, but I feel like this team is really, really loaded. Maybe I'm way overrated. People have told me, Jerry Meadows told me, some of these guys think I'm overrating them. Well, not overrating them, but thinks I'm a little bit too high too early. Maybe I am. And I'm not, maybe I am. But I really like this team. We'll see. Mostly because of the pitching. Nobody has 4 starting pitchers like Arkansas, 2 closers, and a ton of bullpen. I mean, some of them didn't even get to pitch this weekend. That bullpen's just stacked. When you've got that kind of pitching, you're tough, man. But I like this baseball team. I don't keep up with softball, but I really like this baseball team. But, I mean, softball speaks for itself when you're 12-0 in your run rule, everybody. That's, that's good.
Well,
that's great.
And I wasn't very high on this team going into the season just for the simple fact of how many new guys you've had. You've had some problems with guys panning out from the portal the last couple of years.
You're talking about
baseball, and then also the guys that are coming, some of the core guys that are coming back are coming off of injury that didn't really produce at the end of the last 2 years, getting knocked out of a regional at home. So that's why I wasn't too high on him.
Yeah, this team hasn't finished well the last 2 years. It's been an embarrassment to Dave and the program. It is not I don't see this team doing that. I mean, we'll see. It's a long ways between. And baseball's a funny game. You can be playing great right now, and you can be dead by the time May and June rolls around. So, we'll see. But I'll be surprised if this team folds at the end like the last 2 have.
Yeah, I do too. We'll have to see what happens there because this again, starting tomorrow evening, Friday at 7 p.m. I do believe it's 7. It's either 7 or 8. I'll have to double check.
7. You talking about the Arkansas game?
Yeah, Arkansas, Kansas State. 7, and then 8 o'clock on Saturday night, and then I do believe 3 o'clock on Sunday afternoon against Michigan. So
I know it's 7 tomorrow night.
Is it 7 tomorrow night too? Okay.
Yeah, tomorrow night. Yeah.
But 6 o'clock. Sorry, 6 o'clock. That's my fault. 6 o'clock.
Night?
6 o'clock. So tomorrow night. So Friday 7, Saturday 6, and Sunday 11 a.m. That's what it is.
Yeah.
So then we'll have a lot more on that. Myself and Dudley will on the Arkansas Diamond Report tomorrow at 10:30. So, Otis, I'm going to tell you what, man. I was really glad to see finally get some Luka action. Unfortunately, my guy Wemby, he's going to be out for the rest of the season.
I was shocked when I got back from Missouri and saw that. I had not heard that. I got back and looked at my phone or the laptop, and I saw that, and I said, crap. Now I saw Portis was suspended for 25 games. I didn't know tramadol was an illegal substance, banned substance, but I guess it is. Wow. That's a weak pain meds. I know some people think
Yeah,
it's really
it's just a
something.
hopped up Tylenol.
Yeah, I know when I had my shoulder surgery, they had me on hydrocodone and a long time ago. Or no, it's my ankle surgery. When I broke my ankle, that's what it was. A junior day over there.
Yeah.
I broke my ankle. Yeah, it was ankle. I did have shoulder surgery, but it was ankle, and they had me on hydrocodone, and I had them give me some tramadol. And what it was, I could work with the tramadol. The hydrocodone kind of got me tired during the day, but the tramadol, man, I mean, it's a very mild stuff. I'm surprised that's a banned substance. It's not that strong.
No, the reason why it's banned was because of how much was being given out in quantity, in frequency, and that's the reason
Yeah,
why.
I get it. I get it. But I don't know. I mean, I've heard he thought it was, is it Toradol or something like that?
Yeah,
He'd been
Toradol.
taking that's doesn't have the drugs in it,
That's the thing with Toradol too. Is you got to watch out to protect your kidneys with that medication. So I think that's probably one of the reasons why they took him off of that. That would be my guess with my clinical and medical background. But again, it would be something for his doctors to answer to that. But that's usually the case.
Yeah, I hate to see that about Wemby because I'm going to tell you, he's a great player, man. I mean, a great player. Yeah, I've got the Lakers tonight. I don't know. They're not playing well the last two games. They've lost to Utah and Charlotte. The refs sucked last night, throwing Austin out after they let Draymond go completely crazy last week in a game. Never did call a second tackle on him. Last night, the ref missed a call on Austin. He got hammered on the way up for a layup. Got hammered. Ref didn't call it. Austin threw a field. You called it technical. You got to have thick skin to ignore that second one. You can't call it two. You can't miss a call and then call two straight technicals on somebody. Come on, man. I mean,
Arkansas, it was a bad look.
Lakers up by 11. Charlotte went on like a 23-1 run after that, and it took the game, and I wasn't impressed with the ref doing that. I thought it was kind of a clown move.
Speaking of clown moves, Arkansas did. They played great last night. Arkansas did. Reason why I wanted to bring up clown moves. There was a player for Auburn. Can't remember his name off the top of my head, but he ended up getting a technical right after Avicic got.
You're talking about the kid, with the hyphenated name at the end,
and popping his jersey in front of the Razorback bench, not once but two times.
Baker somebody, but
Baker, and I get it that he tries. I've heard announcers say that he was the Dennis Rodman of the school he came from, or he was trying to be the Draymond Green of this team, this, that, and the other. I thought, instead of trying to be a clown that tries to get under people's skin, or like a Dylan Brooks type. Go out, and if you're that good, who gives a damn what you do on the court?
Baker Mayfield, I believe, or something like that. Baker somewhere. But I know who you're talking about. Yeah, he
don't be a clown, just go play ball.
Showing them Auburn. I mean, that's typical Auburn, though. That's a low rent school, man. I can't stand Auburn. Hugh Freeze and all them clowns down there. Bruce Pearl, all of them.
Seems to be a bird of
a feather down there. Sleeves not a very good coach, but Pearl is. I'll hand it to him.
He is a good coach. His rear off.
Yeah, he's a good coach. Very good coach. One of the best in the SEC. One of the best in the nation.
He summed it up post-game last night on ESPN. He said, it was great defensive battle between both teams. They just had no offense, unfortunately.
Well, Arkansas took the lead by 1 with 3:06 to go in the game. 3:06. They scored 2 free throws in the last 3:06. Got outscored. Arkansas was up 60 to 59 at that point.
Yeah.
And scored 2 points the rest of the game, in the last 3:06, and got 2 free throws, the only points they got. Yeah, Arkansas just went cold from the field. And I'm going to tell you, Cal's got to sign a big man out of the portal, and he's got a hit on him. He cannot miss. If he doesn't, I don't care how many 5 stars he signs from high school. He can sign them all. But if he doesn't get a big-time center from the portal, he's making a huge mistake, and I will not be that high on this class. I don't care where it's ranked. He's got to get a big man out of the portal who can really play. Dude's been a big-time disappointment. I don't know why, because he dominated Tennessee last year. And I know he's been hurt some, but, man, I'll tell you what, you've got – when he's played, I have seen times he hasn't played that hard. I'm telling you, man, Cal has got to hit on a big man out of the portal. I don't care how many 5-stars he gets. If he doesn't do that, I'm not going to be sold on the class. Sorry.
4 years with Eric Musselman, 1 year with John Calipari, and the only constant that I've seen so far is that you cannot get a thick, tall, big man to go down low. I thought Jonas Adu was going to be that guy, but he looks thinner than I thought he was.
Players in the SEC last year. If Connect hadn't gotten the SEC Player of the Year, Adu might have gotten it. He dominated. But then again, you think about why would a kid that good at Tennessee, that team that good, why would you leave there if it wasn't for money? Did he get his money and say the heck with it? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not saying he did, but I'm just saying. Why would you leave Tennessee, if it wasn't for money? And I've seen times, I know he's been hurt, but I've seen times when a dude did not play that hard. I don't care. Calipari probably disagree with me. That's fine. I don't blame him, but I have seen times when Jonas didn't play that hard. I don't know. I know he's been hurt, but you can play your butt off no matter what, man.
Yeah. Well, Otis, I'm going to have to cut you out of here. It's time to go watch some basketball. So next week we'll be at hold on, let me double check with you on this. We're going to be in Fayetteville next Thursday, the 27th, at 7 p.m. at Torchy's Tacos. Make sure to jump over with us either live in the restaurant or on hogville.net or our Hogville YouTube channel. So for Otis and myself, Jason, I want to say thank you all for joining us. Don't forget, tomorrow morning, 10:30, the Arkansas Diamond Report with myself and Dudley Dawson. And we will see you guys later. Otis, you take care. Bulldog, you take care as well. And the rest of the guys that you have there at the house. And you guys have a good one. And go Hogs.
See you, man. Thank you.
Y'all, it's time for some damn good tacos in college football. We're excited to announce our title sponsor, Torchy's Tacos, for the Arkansas Football Report with Otis Kirk, and the new addition to the Hogville.net family, the Arkansas pregame show starring former Hog running back Marshall Foreman, hosted by Jason Pattison. If you're looking for a place to unwind and call the Hogs, Torchy's is the place. Torchy's location on MLK in Fayetteville is the proud host of the Arkansas pregame show, and it will air 2 hours prior to kickoff of each Fayetteville home game. The Arkansas Football Report airs every Thursday at 7 p.m. in Rogers. Check out the full-service bar on the patio or in the restaurant while you cheer Arkansas on to victory. Torchy's has you covered with the daily drink specials or the taco of the month with their queso that's made in-house fresh daily. Torchy's has 2 convenient locations in Northwest Arkansas, which happen to be the only 2 locations here in the great state of Arkansas. They have you covered for some damn good tacos, and go Hogs.